Welcome to Lead Like a Girl, where we are empowering everyday women through our stories. I'm your host, Jessica Smith, and I began this journey by sharing my life story. Now, I've joined forces with my longtime friends, Jamie and Corlin, to keep this party going. We met many years ago as young sales girls in our 20s, driven and quickly rising to the top of our industry. As the years went on, life happened, and we all found ourselves in new companies and completely different industries, still striving for success in it all. Career, family, faith, fun. Now, it wasn't easy, but we never stopped moving. Get ready for our real conversations, inspiring stories, and our big life lessons as we share it all. The good, the bad, and the funny. Welcome to Lead Like a Girl.
All right. Thanks for joining us. We're here on another episode of Lead Like a Girl. This is Cora Lynn. I'm here with my best friends, Jamie and Jessica. We're trying to just inspire, encourage, empower everyday women, sharing stories, sharing our life stories. And we're here for another episode. This is number 11, ladies. We're rolling through. Before we get started, I just want to remind people, we have been encouraging more subscribers, more followers. So we are on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and our website is leadlikeagirllab.com. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. We are here for all of those things. We want to talk about the things you're interested in. And let's jump in, ladies. How was your week?
It was good. Don't make fun of me when you see my TikTok videos because I'm just learning TikTok because I'm old.
I think they're great. You're showing up
I'll
as your authentic self. I think you were working out in this last one, and I think I saw a bead of sweat drip down your face.
Yeah. Maybe an indication was the towel where I was wiping it off.
Oh, I thought that was your shirt.
Oh, no. Anyway, check me out on those videos and don't make fun.
I'm so glad that you took the reins of TikTok and making the videos anyway.
I don't think we're off the hook, Jamie. I think we got to get our tail in
I
gear.
know. I'm saying cheers for the bead of sweat also. Good job.
Right. All right.
Right.
No problem. Check us out.
Yeah.
So we started this a few weeks ago. We had decided that some of these episodes we're going to start off with a little first minute fast. So I have a question for you ladies that's going to set up our topic for today. So my question today is, picture you are walking into a room. You probably do not know anybody in the room. Maybe it's networking, maybe it's a party, maybe it's anywhere you would show up where you need to start connecting with people fast. What are a couple things that you guys do when you walk into a room instantly? What are you thinking either before, during, or while you're in the setting?
Okay, so I'm just going to be very truthful in this. I will typically walk up to maybe the first, second, third, whatever person I see. And I literally say to them, where am I supposed to be? What should I be doing right now?
Are you being truthful or what is that?
No, 100%. I will just be like, hey, whatever the situation, I'll be like, where should I be here? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Are we mingling? Do I get a drink? Are we watching? Do we sit? What do I do? And
so that's your line, you're saying.
It is my line. And I'm telling you what, 100% of the time, that person will go, oh, well, come here. I'm going to show you this person. I'm going to introduce you to whoever. And yep, here's what we usually do. Or they'll do exactly what I just asked them. What should I be doing? Tell me what to do right here. And I do the same thing, work related, when I walk into like a new business and the receptionist will be like, hey, here's my agenda. Can you help me? Like, what should I do? And they'll tell me what to do. It's great.
Wow. That's a nugget, Jamie. That is good.
Yeah. I wouldn't have done that. I would have never even thought of that.
Well, it sounds like you have an instant ally.
You make an instant person who's going to exactly. They're your ally. They're your friend. They're going to grab your arm and go, oh, well, let's go over here. Oh, hey, let me go show you who the speaker is. Or I've been to this. Or sometimes they'll say, I don't know. I'm like, let's go figure this out. And then we'll walk around and then
still a buddy.
Instantly. Yes.
Yeah.
Works every time.
I like that because people want to feel needed. They want to feel like they help.
They want to help you.
Yeah, and you gave them the opportunity. I
Yeah,
love it.
you would not believe how many times it's the keynote speaker, or it is like the chamber president, or it's like the host of the party. Like, it's just random, you know what I mean? But you walk in and you pick that person and you're like, hey, I'm Jamie. I'm here. What should I be doing right now? And it's pretty great.
I
It
like
works
it.
pretty great.
So for me, I usually walk in the room, and in some cases, I might know someone there. So I intentionally look for people that I don't know.
Mm.
I try to look for
Yeah.
people who, this might sound weird, look completely opposite of me.
Does that sound weird?
I don't know, but then I also look for someone who looks like they need help. And what I
Mm.
mean by that
Ooh.
is maybe someone who's sitting at a table by themselves, maybe someone who looks nervous. I'm just always looking to help people, and so I'm looking, someone needs help here, and I'm going to go over, introduce myself to them and kind of get to know them. I love people watching at the airport, by the way. So I make up whole stories about people just by looking at them. Seriously.
I just did
their
that at
whole life
IKEA.
story.
I made up a story. I was like, the person who has this sofa.
Right. And so
It's great.
when I look at someone and I make up a story, because I don't know if people know this, but sometimes you got this look on your face where you look like, I'm looking at her like, oh, she looks like she's having a bad day. She's going through something real deep. And I want to just walk up and say hello. And so that's usually what I do.
Man,
I walk up.
I mean, I could take a lead from that, because I think if I look like somebody, if I'm going to a place and somebody looks like they're having a bad day, I probably run the opposite direction.
Oh, really? No.
Maybe,
no,
I don't know.
Because I'm curious. I want to know what is wrong. What the hell's wrong with you? What happened? Tell me about it.
What happened today?
Right. What happened?
Yeah, I think that I definitely don't do Jamie's trick, but I'm stealing that for sure. That is
Yeah.
amazing. That's golden. Yeah, and listeners, if you
Yeah.
take nothing away
I'm
from
gonna write
that,
that
that's it. We could probably shut this off and take Jamie's suggestion. and
We're
we could be done.
Yeah.
6
I love
minutes
it.
in.
No, I remember though, what I usually do is I look around, same thing, I walk in, but one thing I always do before I walk in the door, I put my phone away and I walk in and I make sure that I have this feeling about me like I know what I'm doing. I walk in extremely as confident as I can, walk in,
Yeah.
scan the room. I'm not looking down. I'm not looking like I'm lost. I just walk in, and then I usually scan the room a little bit, walk through the crowd, and make eye contact with somebody, and then just start up a conversation. Have you been here before? Is this your first time here? And kind of let them lead the conversation. And then I have a list of kind of general get to know you questions that usually get the icebreaker the ice broken in that situation. That would be my those are
I like the put
Tell
your
me,
phone
what are
away.
your tell me like 2 questions.
the easiest questions. I have 4.
Is one of them, what is your favorite color?
That's probably question like 27, but I'll get there.
That's
Right.
that was like a joke we had back in the
Right.
day where we were
And
like, okay,
don't
when
talk
you
about the weather.
Yeah.
I know,
No
it's like if you
weather.
really run out of everything to say, it's like, what's your favorite color? Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt. Please.
No, I mean,
wanna
you
know
can usually
just 2.
So it's usually just really simple questions, but somebody will start talking and you'll hit a hot button. We'll talk about this in a second, but I'm just trying to make some sort of connection. But I asked, do you live around here? How long have you lived here? Do you work in the area? And usually that handful of questions will open up some conversation. You'll go down some rabbit hole to get something hot button. What do you do when you're not working? Do you guys have kids? Things like that, kind of just easy general conversation starters. So
Yeah.
nice. Thanks, ladies. That was great. So we are segueing into our topic for today. Quite a few episodes ago, we were talking about the company and some of our big takeaways that we've had from the company. I have a little pop quiz for you. We had shared that the 3 of us came from the same sales organization. We all worked there for a decade or more. The number one thing that they shared with us is that people buy things from you because of 3 reasons. Do you know what those 3 reasons
Is there a
are?
prize?
I will give you a
Wait,
virtual
wait.
high five.
Oh.
Can you count to 3 and then Jessica and I will say them at the same time?
Yeah, you want to try?
Yeah, because-
Okay, how about
no,
just
because
for
it could be different.
for the sake of the listeners, we'll do one by one. Jamie, you can take the first one.
Like,
what did you say?
In
what context is that?
They like you.
Okay. What's number 2?
Trust. They trust you.
And what is number 3? Do you remember this one? This is the hard one.
They understand the value.
Well, see, mine is a little it's different but same. They understand how it will benefit them.
Yes. Actually, ours was so to recap for our listeners, people buy things from you for 3 reasons. We were trained and taught this into the core of our being. They buy things from you because they like you, they trust you, and they understand the product and how it benefits them.
How it
That's
benefits
it.
them. Yeah.
So, isn't
Look
a little
at
walk
you.
down
Did you
memory
go
lane
back
for us?
to the book?
So, when we were talking today,
Jessica was right.
I
was like, the value.
Which is kind of it's the value.
I've been out of the game too long.
Right? But yeah. So today, I just think that we have talked about the ability to specifically hone in on the ability to get somebody to like you and trust you in a short amount of time is a skill that the 3 of us have that has been invaluable over the course of our life. And I just wanted to unpack that a little bit for us and for our listeners. And we're taking a different spin on it. There's no plan to talk about how to get more sales, how to meet more revenue quotas, but we're talking about how that skill can play out in our careers, in our personal life, how to get what we want. And so I just wanted to start off with my question for you ladies is, have you had an opportunity where you know that you had something, you got something done, you got what you wanted, but it was because you felt that you had built like and trust with that person instantly and you just started off on the right foot? Like, is there an opportunity or a story that you have for that? How has the skill of building like and trust influenced you?
So I don't know that I'm sure I have a specific story, but when you say how has like and trust influenced me, and I'll say this, I just had a conversation with a young lady today, and she's one of my mentees. She's got her degree in engineering, and we were talking about a conversation that she's having with a recruiter. And she ran the email by me. And I said, a lot of people think that they have to be in sales to really have sales skills. But what I know is it doesn't matter if you are an at-home mom, if you are part of a board, if you are, a volunteer at your church, everyone is selling something, right? At all times. So having these sales skills are really life skills. They're not necessarily because you're in a sales. And I just this afternoon, had this conversation with her. And I said, you want something. What is it that you want? And she's like, I want a phone call with the recruiter, to talk about opportunities. I said, okay. So you ended your email saying, do you think that it's a possibility that we can, I'm like, does this guy, and this is a true story, I said, does this guy like you? And she's like, yeah, we hit it off at a job fair. Okay, so you already have we didn't talk about trust, but I said, if he likes you, all you have to do is tell him. Why would you ask him? Just tell him, hey, what time next week can we grab a few minutes and talk about some opportunities? And she was like, wow, I wouldn't have even thought of that. And she's like, it's probably your sales brain. And I said, yes, it's my sales brain, but I'm here to tell you that these type of skills are going to get you what you want. Sometimes these same skills I use having conversations with my kids, raising kids. So I'll get off my rant, but it's just a perfect example of what we're talking about, right?
I think that, and again, we're not talking sales, but the second you said that, the thing that popped in my head is ABC. Always be closing. And it doesn't have to be in a sales setting, but all of us want something. We want to change our meeting time. We want to get people to show up. We need to convince people to participate. We need to get a better lead. I mean, get a better desk, get a anything. And they're
Yeah. Get your kids to
Get your-
clean their room. I mean,
right.
sales skills.
Jamie, how about you? How was the skill, just umbrella, how has it helped you overall?
I have a couple things. One, I always think of like and trust in a whole lifestyle aspect where no matter who you're in front of, I mean, I want to treat people with respect and have some camaraderie with everybody that I encounter. And some of that equates a little bit in a weird way to just kind of getting what you want, being able to talk not necessarily persuading someone, but being in the position where, hey, I kind of know what to say to get the end result that I'm wanting. And I remember two things. One, Corlin, I went to the grocery store with you one time and you were kind of chatting up the cashier. This is completely random. I think it was even about like maybe a magazine that was on this shelf or whatever. And you just started chatting her up and she's chatting you up. And like we left and she's like, oh, like you made her day, but like doing that because no one does that. Who does that? Who chats up the cashier? I mean, now I do because I like saw you do it and you kind of made her day. And I remembered another situation, Jess, we were in the Bahamas on a cruise and Corlin and I had a great idea to share a purse that night. We were dancing and I'm sure I dropped it because I'm the clumsiest one of us all. And everything fell out of the purse. My ID fell out of the purse. We never found my ID.
I remember this night so much.
Do you know what I'm just talking about? We're trying to get back on a cruise ship.
Wait, this is a good story. Did you just think of this off the cuff here? This is a good
literally
story.
like 5 seconds ago. I was like,
so good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll shut up. Go ahead.
Yeah. And
Can I interject
anyway,
this also?
let's recap. It's a great idea to huh? What?
Sorry, I was going to say something, but I'll let you finish. I'm sorry. You go ahead.
Okay, so recap. We decide to share a purse. Horrible idea. Lose my ID. It's ship is leaving at like 10 p.m. or something, and it's like 9:50, and we're trying to get back on the cruise ship.
What happens? What happens if you don't get back on the boat when it leaves? I think
I guess I live in the Bahamas. I was like, and I remember.
I think I know
Jessica,
like the ship guard. They do not let you on the boat without an ID. You have to have your ship card and you have to have an ID.
Yes,
this is a big deal.
Like you can't just get on a cruise ship.
10
well, guess who got?
They tell you.
You know who got me on the cruise ship? Jessica. Jessica talked our way back onto the cruise ship. Like I boarded a cruise ship with no ID, and I remember her saying, "Does she look like she lives here?"
And I remember that guy at that boat, we were cracking him up. Jessica, you were just being all things you. He definitely liked you. And then you started your case. These are the 7 reasons why this girl needs to get on this boat now.
Yeah. Right. Look, we're leaving the dock in 10 minutes. I'm not leaving my white friend Jamie.
Yeah. So after I build the case, I'm like, come on, girls, let's go.
It was a very assumptive close.
And I don't even think he very much did not have the choice. Like you just freaking grabbed our hands and walked us on. So anyway, it's just like my mind kind of goes to that of like those situations where the impression is like I talked my way into that, but it's not necessarily the case. But I think there's a lot of factors in there. But I think that that's that skill that's like in trust and getting people to laugh and getting them to like you right away. And then I thought of when you talk about like the first couple questions that you ask someone to kind of start a conversation, one thing I try to avoid at all costs is how are you? Like I would absolutely. I loved one of the things that we would say in our greeting where we'd say, anything exciting happened today?
I use that one all the time.
Or
no, all the time.
All the time.
I started our meeting today, our group meeting. I started exactly like that.
Yeah. I mean, anything other than how are you? That's so just bland and everyday. And it's like,
it's like a yes or no question, right?
Yeah. And I love to, I learned, I listened to a motivational speaker long time ago, and they had said, basically anytime you see something that you could compliment someone on, do it. Like what is the harm in that? I love to say, I love your nails. Oh, your polish looks nice. Or, just whatever, anything that you notice on someone that looks good,
Sincerely.
So anyway, my story, no,
100%.
totally. Yes, exactly. If I see something, yeah. Um, one of the things I was just going to bring up is, and I don't want to take up a bunch of time, but recently, as you guys know, I've been going to a hospital quite often. A family member is there, and they have very strict rules. So 4 people per day, the same 4 people, never more than 2 people in the room, really, really strict. And the nurse in charge is essentially the end all decision maker on who can come in and how many people and that sort of thing. There was a front desk worker, and this is the ICU, so it's a little bit more strict. But I have a huge family, and the rumor was there's one front desk worker who is just kind of like really strict and mean, and nobody liked her, and she never lets you in, and she whatever. Well, anyway, there was a procedure that was done, and only 4 people get to come to the hospital. Well, we had 3 extra people that drove in from a couple hours away to be there, not knowing. And so I met with 3 different front desk people, the nurse, everybody, and I just said, I completely respect and understand your rules. I just want to let you know kind of what the situation is. It's a really serious procedure. Our family, all of us live at least 2 hours away. I had a couple family members that showed up unexpectedly. Is there any, I'm not even asking you to break the rules. I'm just saying, like, these people are here. Is there any chance we can maybe swap a couple people in and out? We can wait in the parking lot. Just trying to think outside the box to be able to accommodate the loved ones that wanted to be there. And ultimately, after, I don't even know, it was probably a good hour and a half. In fact, my aunt and uncle came and gave me a hug, and they're like, "Thanks for doing this." I'm like, "Yeah, don't thank me yet. I don't even."
We haven't got to the promised land yet.
I have to wait in the parking lot. I don't even know. I was like, "Please don't thank me." But anyway, long story short, the limit's 4. I had 7.
Of course you did.
And I texted my boyfriend. I texted my boyfriend. I was like, "Well, only 4 people can come. I have 7 people. How many people do you think got in?" He goes, 7.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
But the front desk worker, the one that's so strict and whatever, I went up to her and I'm like, very sincerely, I was like, I did not want to, I said, I would like to tell you that we're not this big of a pain in the butt all the time, but I would be lying. Like, we are always this big of a pain in the butt. I'm like, yeah. I'm so sorry, but I can't even tell you like how much this means to us. And she said, "You're awesome. Your family's awesome. We absolutely love you guys here. I hope I never see you again, because I hope
at least you'll be in
no
good
one
hands.
is ever in the ICU here again." But, I think that was just a true testament of being authentic and being sincere, and like being just not having like some weird agenda of trying to get you to like and trust me. It was more like, I'm just going to tell you my story, and I'm going to be real with you. And you are real to me, and I'm going to treat you like a real person. And it just gets, it gets you a bit farther, and it gets you a bit closer to your agenda, I think. Not saying that that's a bad thing, but just, it gets you a little closer when you're like, just like I said, where am I supposed to be? Like, I truly want to know what should I be doing right now? So, that's the first thing I thought of when you presented this, because I was like, man, this just happened about a week ago, and and I couldn't wait to tell my whole family, "Hey, all you guys who said she was the mean one, she actually loves us."
I think that is actually a really good point. And I think through the lens of what we're trying to do here at Lead Like a Girl is have influence, is to help influence others, either help them with their own lives by helping them through their issues, listening to our stories and things like that. But I think that that's a good segue into the harder part. I think that we can get people to like us. We smile, we look people in the eye, we laugh, we ask questions. I think that trust, the part 2 of that, is a little bit tougher. And it's not that it's difficult, but I feel like it takes more time. And I think that trust is when people really will listen, follow what you say, get engaged. So let's talk about that a little bit. So we can build like, but what are some of the tips and tricks that you found to help influence that trust piece that helps people trust you so you can work collaboratively, so they understand that you have their best interest in mind?
Yeah. When Jamie was saying that, I was thinking when I talk to people, because of course, like you said, this is a skill that we learned early on. And um, as a sales leader, of course, but even as just a mentor, we talk about this a lot. And it's not just how to get someone to trust you, it's how to get someone to trust you quickly. And I don't know if that's like a separate skill, but that's the one that we
We
were
had
taught
10
because
minutes.
you had a very little window. There you go. 15 minutes if you're lucky because there was some late
Right.
shows at the end, right? So and I think it was that was actually great because what it did is it forced us to learn the skill at another level. Because if you only have a short period of time to do it, so oftentimes we have longer periods of time. But some of the things that Jamie said, when I think about what my bullets are, when I tell people how to accomplish this, being
Mm-hmm.
genuine, authentic. That's why I don't like the question of how are you? People just say it. Like, have you ever had someone say, how are you? And then they look away. What the
Yeah.
hell did you ask
It's not
me that
even a
for?
question. It's like,
You
hey,
don't
how are you?
care. Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm good. How are
Is
you?
that a question or a statement? Right. Because you it's just something to say. You really don't care. So I think that the first thing is that you have to be genuinely interested in the person, and you have to be authentic, and you have to be transparent, of course, in a respectful way, and also finding that common ground. I think that that's also a big one because people trust people that are like them, and when you get that connection, you guys remember, like, that's when you have that connection, when someone's like, oh my god, that's so me, and I went there too, I love it, you knew right then. They're like, oh, we good, we got it.
Like, this
And
is my
so I
girl.
think those are
We're going to
probably
do
the
this together.
big ones. Right. Yes. So I think those are some big ones. And then the last one I'll say is just bring value, right? People trust people that bring value to the conversation or to the relationship. I'm always, when I meet new people, like, networking or just, I'm listening for an opportunity. I had a great conversation with a woman yesterday, and she's telling me about how, in order for her to get to this next level in her role, that she needed to really hone in on some of the analyst side of the business, and that she was going to be learning a tool called Power BI. And as she's talking, I'm always writing notes. And at the end, I said, listen, I know someone who's one of my mentees, and she works as a senior analyst, and she helps me with Power BI all the time. I'd love to introduce the two of you and see if she has any insight or anything she can help you with. Like, she was like, what? Wow. So that would be, to me, that's the biggest, is offer help and bring value to the
That's so
conversation
great.
or to
I
the
think
relationship.
that really, I think that sums it up in terms of building trust. So we've got how we build how we build trust. I want to segue a little bit into how does that play out in real life? Because we want to make this real for our listeners. We want to talk about the application part of it. I think one of the big things, like, we talk about, we want to get what we want, sell the thing, do the thing that we want. What about if we take it back a step, and how does it help building like and trust with somebody that is really difficult to work with? When there's a conflict, when you're butting heads with somebody, when the person that we're working with, how do you lead like a girl through like and trust when you're dealing with a super difficult person?
I can, I think I can take this a little bit here. Recently being in a position where I worked with all contractors and builders and construction workers, and
AOs.
I want to call them like guys. The very, I could make them like me, sure, at the beginning and all of that, but the trust was the action behind the words. and very short and sweet, but I would say you got to do what you say you're going to do. When you make promises and you try to build those relationships, and you know what, you've got someone who's upset with you, or you've got someone who's difficult to work with, you put your money where your mouth is, right? Like you tell them, here's what I'm going to do for you. Here's how I'm going to help you. This is going to help both of us. Whether that be in a work setting or a personal setting. I mean, I've worked with my own contractors and been like, all right, well, come out here at this time and this day. I'll make it worth it. You know, I can refer you to other people, whatever the case is. But when you say you're going to do something and you actually follow through and you do that, that's the proof, you know? I just, I I had an old boyfriend one time, and we had broken up, and he said,
Yep.
And he said,
can you guys hear me?
It was my birthday.
Okay.
And he said, you know, if we were still together, I would, you know, bring you breakfast in bed, and I'd have your coffee made, and I'd do this and that. And I was like, boy, you did not do this ever when we were together. I don't believe you. And that's dumb. So I always think it's such a dumb thing to think about, but I do think about that. I'm like, all right, are you all talk, or are you going to actually do what you say you're going to do? And I really think that that's a very super simple key way to use that like and trust to get through the barrier of that conflict, or like that, you know, difficult, maybe you're the difficult person, maybe they're the difficult person, but get through that is simply prove it.
Yeah. And I'll sum mine up just real quick, Cora, and that is, I deal with people like that all the time. And you know, the saying, kill them with kindness.
Oh yeah.
That's my strategy. And the same way I say I want to bring value and I want to be authentic and help them, same thing. Even the ugliest people, and it works, because at some point they stop and think, why is she trying to help me when I've just been the biggest bee to her? And that's what I do. I can't drop the mic because it's on the stand. That's all I can.
That's awesome. That's really great. Guys, this has been a great conversation. I'm looking at the time and we're actually a couple minutes over already. This just flew by. So this might need to be another conversation that we dive into a little bit deeper again in the future. But I just love this. The skill of building like and trust, showing up authentic, and genuinely taking an interest in people and asking good questions, finding that common bond are all fantastic skills that we can practice and improve on to build relationships so we can have the right kind of influence over the people that we want to influence and make the kind of impactful change that we want to do. So ladies, thank you for being here today. Listeners, thank you guys. Again, I kicked off the show with this, but I want to remind you to follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Our website is leadlikeagirllab.com. We have tons of amazing merchandise, sweatshirts, hats, glasses. So we want to see some of our listeners posting some pictures with their Lead Like a Girl swag on our channels. And tune in, like and subscribe us. But this is what I got here, ladies. We're building like and trust, and we're out. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Bye.